Okay, good morning again. If you're just recently joined us, welcome, and I wish you a happy Mother's Day. And in the spirit of being a mother myself and the teacher in me, I am going to start us off with a little story. It is something that the Master Teacher Jesus used, the story of analogy, of parable. So today I'm going to share an excerpt from The Little Prince that was written by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Not sure if I pronounced that 100% correctly. And The Little Prince was written in 1943. The Little Prince was came from a planet called Asteroid, and he was restless and bored, and he figured, hey, I want to go out and explore the universe. And where I pick up the story, which I will share with you, is when he arrives on planet Earth and has a very rich and meaningful interaction with Fox, who teaches him much about relationships, and within it, it contains such profound meaning, and it actually reflects the meaning of our third beatitude, which is, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So settle back, rest, and enjoy the story. Good morning, said the fox. Good morning, the little prince replied politely. Who are you? You're pretty. Oh, play with me, the little prince proposed. Well, I am the fox, and you look so sad, and I can't play with you because I'm not tamed, said the fox. Ah, I'm sorry, said the little prince, but after some thought, he added, what does tamed mean? You are not from here, the fox said. What are you looking for? I'm looking for people, said the little prince. And what does tamed mean? People, said the fox, have guns and they hunt. It's a problem for me. They also keep chickens. That's the only interesting thing about them. Are you looking for chickens? No, said the little prince. I'm looking for friends. And what does tamed mean? Tamed? Tamed means to create ties, to create bonds. To create ties? That's right, the fox said. For me, you're only a little boy, just like 100,000 other little boys. And I don't need you, and you don't need me either. For you, I'm only a fox, like 100 other foxes. But if you tame me, we'll need each other. You'll be the only boy in the world for me, and I'll be the only fox in the world for you. Oh, I think I'm beginning to understand, the little prince said. There's a flower. I think she has tamed me. It's possible, said Fox. On Earth, we can see all sorts of things. Oh, my flower is not on Earth, the little prince said. Yes? Are there hunters on that planet? No. That's interesting. Any chickens? No. Nothing's perfect, sighed the fox. But he came back to his idea. My life is pretty much the same every day. I hunt chickens. Men hunt me. All the chickens are similar, and all the men are similar. So, I'm a little bored. But if you tame me, my life will be filled with sunshine, and I'll know the sound of footsteps that will be different from all the others. The other footsteps will send me back underground. Yours will call me out of hiding like music. And then look, Do you see the cornfields over there? I don't eat bread. For me, corn is not useful. The cornfields say nothing to me. And that's sad. But you have golden hair. And I think it would be wonderful if you tamed me. The corn, which is also golden, will remind me of you. And I'll love the sound of the wind in the corn. The fox became silent and looked at the little prince for a long time. Oh, please tame me, he said. All right, I'll like to tame you, replied the little prince. But I don't have much time. I want to find friends and learn new things. We only learn about things which we tame, said the fox. People don't have time to learn anything. They buy things from shops, but because there are no shops where you can buy friends, people don't have friends anymore. And if you want a friend, tame me. Well, what do I have to do to tame you? Asked the little prince. You have to be very patient, replied the fox. First, you'll sit down at a little distance from me over there in the grass, and I'll watch you with one eye, and you won't say anything. Words are the source of misunderstanding. But every day, you'll be able to sit a little closer. The next day, the little prince returned. It would be better to return at the same hour, said the fox. Why? Well, rules are important. They teach us about commitment and discipline. So the little prince tamed the fox. And when the hour of his departure was near, the fox said, "Oh, I'm sad. I will cry." "Well, it's your fault," said the little prince. "I never wanted to do any harm, but you wanted me to tame you." "Yes, of course," said the fox. "But you're going to cry," said the little prince. "Yes, of course," said the fox. "Then you get nothing out of it." "Oh, I get lots of it, something out of that," said the fox, "because of the color of the corn." Then he added, "Go and look at the roses again. You'll understand now that yours is unique in all of the world. And then come back to say goodbye to me, and I'll give you a present. The present will be a secret." The little prince went off to be among the roses again. And then, feeling delightment and renewed in love, he returned to the fox, as the fox had asked. "Goodbye," he said. "Goodbye," said the fox. "Here is my secret. It's quite simple. You can see clearly only with the heart. What is essential is invisible to the human eyes." "What is essential is invisible to the human eyes, to my eyes," repeated the little prince, in order to remember. "It's the time you spend with the rose, with me, that makes life so important. People have forgotten this truth," said the fox, "but you mustn't forget it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed." And then he left the fox. So what does this little story, this little excerpt of the story, have to do with the third beatitude? Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And so I just want to break it down. After studying the Greek, the Aramaic, the metaphysical translation of it, I've come to find that the whole beatitude, but especially the word meek, is filled with such deep meaning. And to get into the depth of all of it, I wouldn't have time for a lot of people think of meek as humility, not having abrasive power, but knowing the true power that comes within. And yes, that is all part of it, but I really want to focus on something that is so sacred and important that must come first before anything can happen in our lives. And so let's just take a deeper look at the word meek. Meek means to be gentled or tamed by the Spirit of God within. The Greek translation for meek is tamed, and we dive deeper. Just feel that. Let's just take a moment and go into your heart. To be gentled, to be tamed by the Spirit of God within. And as the fox would say, it means to create ties, to create strong bonds of knowing. And in order for us to create such a intimate, deep relationship with the divine, we must be willing to not only be gentled by spirit, but to be spiritually domesticated. And I will get into that a little bit more. So, looking at creating ties, creating bonds, which is the essence, the most important part of the third beatitude that Jesus conveys. The most important relationship we must cultivate in our life is with the Spirit of God within. And from that knowing our divinity, knowing the beauty and the magnificence of God, and that I belong to God, God belongs to me, and that I go forth to be the hands, the feet, the words, the voice, the heart of God. It is only then that I walk in love and joy and beauty, and it is the only way that we can truly know peace, peace within and peace all around us. And the master teacher tells us that as all longing, all restlessness and divine discontent or discontent we experience really is the call of the divine within. And it is that only that call and that connection with the Spirit of God within that could truly give us the nurturing and the mothering. And so I just would like to share some more, go back to some of those words with Fox, from Fox. You see, my life is pretty much the same every day. I hunt chickens, men hunt me, all the chickens are similar, all the men are similar, so I'm a little bored. There's that dog-eat world, not feeling any purpose, living from the outside in instead of the other way. And then we get that divine discontent, that boredom, that calling. But if you tame me, my life will be filled with sunshine. I'll know the sound of footsteps that will be different from all the others. The other footsteps will send me back underground. Yours will call me out of hiding like music. And so as we take time to rest in our divine nature, to rest with God within, it is that will lift us from our divine discontent, from our fear, from our anger, from our worry. And it is then that we feel the glow of sunshine within our hearts. And it is through being spiritually domesticated that we begin to discern the footsteps of the divine. We can distinguish the voice of the divine from all other voices, all things in our life that try to compete with our attention, all the to-do lists, the things of work, of our family, the voice of fear, the voice of anguish, the voice of what am I going to do with my life? All of that. And as we become spiritually domesticated and spend time, we are able to more clearly hear God, sense God, know God, and be fulfilled from the inside out. So I just wanted to take a look at what does it mean to be spiritually domesticated. When I was looking and studying this, I was like, domesticated. Even tamed kind of was like, sounded like something was controlling me. But it is to surrender, right? It is to surrender. And even our spiritual practices and all of everything we do requires mastery, which is one of our powers. It is a power of the month. And in order to cultivate rich ties and bonds with ourselves, with another, and most importantly, with God within, we must know devotion, commitment, and discipline. Devotion is an aspect of zeal, or power of zeal. And it means that I don't just like, oh, you know what, it's really important for me to pray, to meditate. You know, I kind of feel better. But devotion is then we look forward with passion and anticipation to sit in the silence, to affirm our prayers, to put our hands in Mother Earth, to be connected to the person who is before us as a blessing instead of thinking of what I need to do next or what they're not doing to make me happy. And then we look at commitment and discipline. Just like we would learn anything in life, right? Any relationship requires commitment, or all in, even when things get difficult. So to be committed and have discipline means that I take the time, not just when I feel like it, not when the rug gets ripped out beneath me, but it is something so sacred and that I am devoted for, that I have my spiritual practice, whether it be prayer, chanting, singing, putting my hands in the dirt, where I know and sense and feel and move to the stillness of my being. And Fox shares that wisdom, again, about being spiritually domesticated. People don't have time to learn anything. They buy things from shops. But because there are no shops where you can buy friends, people don't have friends anymore. And if you want a friend, oh, tame me. And what do I have to do to tame you? Asked the little prince. You have to be very patient, replied the fox. First, you'll sit down at a little distance from me over there in the grass, and I'll watch you with one eye, and you won't say anything. Words are a source of misunderstanding, but every day you'll be able to sit a little closer. How often do we say we don't have time? We sometimes don't live our values. Some of the things that we say we value so much, our relationships. All of us here who are joined have that desire to have a deep connection, a spiritual connection with the divine by whatever name you may call God, right? But how often do we put our prayer time, the stillness time, off because we are quote unquote too busy? And then to be very patient, right? How many times have I heard, well, I just can't meditate. You know, I can't, my mind chatters, my this, my that. Yes. And sometimes if we fight off those thoughts or we think that it's not spiritual, whatever, as Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul, says, that whatever is coming up, whatever the chatter is of personal mind, is there to be healed, to be loved, to be embraced. So maybe don't fight it. And if it is for you, putting your hands in the dirt or moving and just seeing the beauty all around you, that is sacred as well. But it also speaks about being very patient in that, like all relationships, it takes commitment and persistence in developing that connection. And the more we spend and we speak and we sing and we cultivate that relationship with divine, every day you will be a little closer, meaning you will feel stronger ties. You'll be able to distinguish the voice again from all other voices. And you will also have the courage. How many times do we say, I don't know if that's the spirit within talking to me. I don't know if that's my divine wisdom. Because you are giving power to all of the fears and you brush it aside. So every day as you cultivate this relationship, you'll have more courage to take action on what spirit is guiding you to. And once we have been tamed, my friends, and spiritually domesticated from within, once we know and feel and sense God, and we have that beautiful connection, we know our divine essence. It's not like we just worship something out there. Yes, we have reverence for the divine, but we are called to be that divinity in expression. And when we have that cultivated relationship, it is then we will know what it means to inherit the earth. Many of us come to have believed to, or how I should say, maybe, let me backtrack that. Not many of us have gathered, but society or how the beatitude has been interpreted wrongly through patriarchal. Inherited has been interpreted to mean that I have power over, control over, like a force kind of power, and that everything on the earth is for my personal benefit, not out of a sense of beauty and reverence, but out of a sense of selfishness. And so to inherit means, now that I know that everything is divine, as I live and breathe and know my divinity from within, it is only from that place do I see the beauty expressing. It was that point in the story where the fox said, since we have bonds now, we have cultivated that relationship, now I will see you in the cornfields. The golden field will remind me of your hair, which is the symbolism of, as I know God within, as I live from that place, I will see the beauty that is all around me. I will know the beauty of the living, loving Mother Earth and all its inhabitants. And I share a quote from Cynthia Brogalt in the book Wisdom Teachings. Blessed are the ones who have been spiritually domesticated, the ones who have tamed the wild energy within them, meaning the passions and the compulsions and the defenses of his, her, their lower nature. And in the Gospel of Thomas, we see this process described as devouring the lion within, because otherwise the lion within, our fears or worries, our anger, will devour us. Only when we have dealt directly with our animal instincts, quote unquote, and the perversive sense of fear and scarcity that emerges out of the egoic operating system, are we truly able to inherit the earth rather than destroying it. And so I take a deep breath this day, this Mother's Day, and I call to you, not just on this day, but every day. May you be tamed by the Spirit of God within you. Allow yourself to be gentled, to be nurtured, to be uplifted, to be healed, and be guided by the wisdom of God that is within you. And when you are gentled by the Spirit within you, may you know that everything that appears before you is sacred, is holy, is of the divine. And may you, me, all of us always remember that we belong to each other and that all life breathes together. And I close with some words, the wisdom of Fox. Here is my secret. It's quite simple. You can see clearly only with the heart. Know that what is essential is invisible to the human eyes. It is the time you spend with the divine. It is the time you spend with one another. It is the time you spend with Mother Earth and all its inhabitants. You must never, never forget that we, me, you, are responsible forever for what we have tamed, we love, and behold. I send you love and light from my heart, and may you have a blessed day and a blessed week. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Reverend Angela. You are such a blessing to us. Thank you. We will now read our affirmative prayer. You can read along silently with me. With passion and devotion, I cultivate and nurture a relationship with the divine. Being tamed by the holy presence within, I behold the beauty and sanctity of Mother Earth and all its inhabitants. It is now that time in our service where we have an opportunity to affirm how abundantly rich our lives are. I invite you to place your love offering, which you can do virtually, over your heart, and affirm with me silently together. Divine love, as me, blesses and increases all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. There are different ways that you can make your love offering. You can go to our website at unitybytheshore.org, and there's a blue button. It says Give Now. If you're on our Breeze platform, you can do it that way. There was also a link provided in the email for this service, or you can mail a check to Unity by the Shore at the address on the screen. And we are so grateful. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for supporting Unity by the Shore.